Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to cover a story titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend that yes, the gym is more important to me than her and her daughter? And guys, this whole story, it's not very long, but let me tell you, it is a good one for very important lessons for you guys that do dating and relationships. It covers multiple subjects. This is about a guy, he started dating his girlfriend who is a single MOM. And yes, I have to spell that instead of actually saying it because YouTube is so sensitive. He's been dating her a year and a half, and she has a 4-year-old daughter. And everything was going great in their relationship and all that until the guy thought it was a good idea to move in with her. And then all of a sudden, boom, just like that, bait and switch, night and day difference in terms of how she's treating him. Because he was on a routine of he'd see her, he'd work 10-hour shifts 5 days a week, and then he'd go to the gym. This guy's really big into working out. It's his thing. It's his purpose. He enjoys it. Moves in with her, and all of a sudden she starts giving him a hard time about the time he goes to the gym, that he should be spending it with her and her daughter because of their family. While before, none of that was going on. And this guy, he keeps picking fights and drama and all that, and he's had it with her, and pretty much he said, I'm done. And I'm doing this one, like I said, for your relationship guys, to cover multiple subjects that you really need to understand about before you get in a relationship, specifically if you get in one with a single MOM, move in with your girl, particularly covering the topics of the lessons to be learned about moving in with your girlfriend, what can happen there, moving into her place, because by the way, he moved into her apartment, which you should never do, her turf, bait and switch, what can go on there, the stereotypes and very true stereotypes of dating single MOMs, and also what happens when the gal feels certainty in the relationship. When before, she may have treated you one way when she was unsure about how you felt, she was more into the relationship than you are, but the second she starts telling that you're getting attached, all of a sudden the behavior changes. All these very important things that guys gotta understand. And it's right here in this story, which I'm going to break down as I go. So, I'm going to get into it. Again, it's not too long, but the lessons are longer than the actual story. He says, I, 32-year-old male, have been dating my girlfriend, a 29-year-old female, for about 18 months. She has the cutest little 4-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. As our relationship has progressed, I've been spending more and more time at my girlfriend's place, to the point that I've all but moved in with them. This is mostly just because it's logistically easier for me to go to her place since she has a kid and I don't. In other words, she's got the kid, and sure, she has a ton on her plate. Can't deny that. But he's going to go to her. And it's always better that she's going to him. So already the power is shifting to her because he's always going to her. That's another thing I want to point out. I work from 4:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. I get to bed by 4 a.m. and then wake up around noon. And then on most of my days off, on most days, head off to the gym and spend about 2 hours there total. Notice he says most days. Not every day, but most days. He says, I like to work out. It makes me feel good, keeps me healthy, and I can also consider it a professional responsibility to stay in shape. You're darn right, brother. All guys should work out. All guys. I don't care if you're 15 or you're 85. 85, you walk. You get those little 2-pound dumbbells and do those classes with all the old people, or whatever workout you can come up with. All guys should work out to the day they die. Some form of exercise. He says, working 10-hour shifts means that I don't have a ton of time in between shift, but that I also have more days off than most working people. He says, this was never a problem until I basically moved in with my girlfriend. Never a problem before. Suddenly, lately, when I wake up and try to head off to the gym, she's all, oh, it's all about you, huh? Or, you only care about what you need to do. My daughter doesn't understand why you are leaving and why you don't want to spend time with us. Remember, this was never a problem until he essentially moved in with her. Because technically he has his own place, you're going to see, but he's with her all the time. Now he's with her on her turf. All of a sudden, she's dictating about what he should do with his time, all that. Does this sound like an ideal situation, gentlemen? I think not. And notice this was going on beforehand. But now she thinks she's got him, so now she can start bitching. The last time things came to a head when my girlfriend started objecting to my going to the gym, I told her, I'll see you and your daughter for a little bit before I go off to work, and then tomorrow I'm off and don't have a workout scheduled, so we'll have the whole day together. There you go. Time for me, time for you. Reasonable. But I have to get my workout in today. It is a priority. She then responded, so the gym is a priority, but me and my daughter aren't. If you want to be part of this family, it's not all about you anymore. So what's more important to you, the gym or us? Remember, she wasn't doing this kind of crap when he wasn't living with her most of the time. And again, notice the extremes here, ultimatums. No woman gives a guy an ultimatum like that unless they think that they've lost respect for him already and think they got him. She wouldn't be talking to any bad boy like that. I responded, well, if you're going to force me to choose instead of making room for something that you know is important to me, then I guess I'll choose the gym, and I left. Good, bro. Good for you. You walked away. He says, I'm sitting in my own apartment now. Things may be over. In fairness, I should note that she wasn't insisting that I never go to the gym again. She just wanted to renegotiate my schedule. But I was unwilling because I felt as if it would get in the way of my goals. Am I the a-hole? A giant no. No, you're not the a-hole. So let's review some very important things for the relationship, guys, in this situation. Story. I told you it wasn't very long. How many times have I told you guys the stereotypes and things that happen when you move in with your girl? I tell you all the time, you should never move in with your woman, and I stand by that, and I will say that to my dying breath. Unless you've been with her for a long time, and I don't mean 18 months. I'm talking many years. You've been with her and dating her and seeing what she's like in all possible situations and scenarios. How she responds to when things happen in life, as they do. How she is with money. How she is with resolving problems. Is she a good communicator? Does she respond to it in a good, healthy way? Or does she fly off the handle? Is she passive aggressive? Does she not want to talk about things, let things bottle up? Oh, a bunch of stupid ass shit. Years. And then the only reason you should ever move in with her is a final test, and even then it's still a test and you never know what you're going to get, if you plan on marrying her. Now, you know my opinion about marriage, but there are guys who are going to do it anyway, so this is the final test. You move in with her, that's the only reason why. But the thing is, guys, and I'm sure many of you guys have lived with women know, when you move in with them, before you think it's all going to be great and magical, and if it's been fun already, it's going to be even more fun moving together. You move in with your girl, typically within a very short period of time, certain things happen. Like number one in this story, she starts demanding more of your time. While before you came and went as you pleased, you'd see her maybe twice a week. Now she wants your attention all the time. She wants you to scale back hanging out with your bros. She wants you to scale back going to pursue your hobbies, like with this guy, the gym. All of a sudden, the sex is a lot less. All of a sudden, she's not, when you would see her before, she was much more enthusiastic to see you because she would see you once or twice a week. So she was eager, lots to talk about, all that. Now she's got you around the clock. No need to put in the effort anymore. She's not as enthusiastic to see you. And usually that means before when you got together, you were hooking up like rabbits. Now the sex is slowed down. She doesn't dress quite as good looking as she once did, amongst many other things. But emphasize the demanding part. Right here, the demanding thing. Another thing. He mostly moved in to her apartment, her turf. If you're going to move in with your girl, guys, after a long period of time you've been with her, and you decide you want to marry this girl, because that's what you want, or it's your culture, it's your religion, in spite of what I say, it's better that she moves into your place. Or you both found a place together. You didn't go to her place or her house. How do I know? Because how many stories have I done, and I'm sure many of you guys have seen these stories, where the guy thought it was a good idea to go to her house or her turf. It doesn't go well, because it's my house, I call the shots. He's staying with her, and look how she's dictating to him. Another thing, bait and switch. We all heard about the bait and switch girlfriend. What do you got here? Everything was cool with her until he's there living with her most of the time. And all of a sudden, bait and switch. Now she's picking fights. Now she's giving him shit. Wants to talk about renegotiating schedules. No. No guy would ever, no self-respecting man should ever have to put up with this, let alone should do it. but a lot of guys would. And she was probably thinking, I got this guy, so now I can do the bait and switch. I can show my real colors here because, well, if he's moved in with me, essentially, that means he's really into the relationship, really into me. He really likes my daughter. Now I can start up with the bullshit. But before, because back to the whole bait and switch thing, I had to play cool and show that I'm different than the stereotypical single MOMs. And no problem, you're going to the gym all the time and all that. You're on your purpose. But the second I know you're into me, now I can start laying out some terms. And she's thinking he's probably pee-whipped enough that I can get him to cave. Well, this guy, she was wrong. He's not pee-whipped enough. And then on to the stereotype about the single MOMs. There are a lot of stereotypes about them. And I say this, and I say it always, I've known and still do different single MOMs. And let me tell you, some of them are cool as hell. And they got their shit together. And they try hard for their kids. And they love them. They provide all that. But there are still certain stereotypes that are down on the money. And then there's other ones I've known they're freaking nut jobs. Okay? They're looking for a daddy. Right here. The whole, you want to be part of this family, you're going to have to do this. Well, I have an idea. That kid has another family. That kid has a father somewhere. Clearly didn't work out with him. Because obviously maybe you were a demanding pain in the ass, like right here. Or maybe you chose the wrong guy. But now you're looking for a guy to come in and fill in the role. Believe me, a lot of them, they want that guy to come in to fill in that role. Whether it be to someone to help assist with the bills, or she doesn't have to be alone, or to assist with taking care of the kid, all those things. So be aware of this, guys, okay? And if it's a good girl out there and she's looking for a guy to fulfill that role and she's cool and not demanding, then okay, because she doesn't want to be alone, and that kid, it would be nice for that kid to have someone to look up to. But unfortunately, a lot of times, the whole demanding shit comes along. And I've covered many topics, I've had many discussions about what the stereotypes of the single MOMs. Like, darn well that kid, a lot of times those kids will never treat the boyfriend the same as the father because you're not my dad, dealing with that attitude. Or the fact when you're dating the single MOMs, they could drop you like this because of some issue with the kid or this, that. And it's understandable because, the kid's going to come first to her. But still, that's a pain in the ass to a guy who hopefully is busy on his purpose and only has minimal time each week to go out. And if he's being canceled on left and right like that because of something with the kid or some damn thing with her, it's not worth it. That's why it's in a guy's interest to simply not date a single MOM. And I always get shit about this, and I'm going to get shit about this, but it is what it is. And a lot of you guys have learned this. But I've acknowledged that there are some that are definitely cool, but there are headaches for guys. And right here, you want to be part of this family? I don't think the guy went into this situation I'm going to be a part of some family or become a father figure. See what I mean? And last but not least, as I mentioned before, and I'll get into it again, when a gal feels confident, when a gal feels certainty with her guy, that's when things change. It's always better, guys, to have her more into the relationship than you. Her working for the relationship more than you. Her always wondering how much you really like her, how much you really are attracted to her, wondering about you, what you're doing, this, and this, the future, okay? Because when she gets certainty, that goes away. That's what you got right here. Because initially, before they were living together, obviously she was different. And he probably thought, oh man, she's so cool. I got a good one, right? Bait and switch. They move in together and, oh, never mind. I'm certain that this guy's getting hooked. He's getting hooked on me. He's getting hooked on my kid. Now I can start getting bitchy. Now I can start dictating how things are going to go, right? It's always better, guys, that she's always unsure about how things are with the guy. All right, and it sounds horrible. I acknowledge that because you have somebody you care about and click with. Why would I want to make her unsure? Why would I want to cause that? Because if you don't, bullshit happens, okay? It starts off a little bit, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Because if they're uncertain about you and the future and where things stand in the relationship, they're going to be so busy trying to chase your validation and make you happy and make you commit that they're going to not be paying as much attention to other dudes or other temptations or starting bullshit because she knows you'll walk. That's the greatest thing a guy can do, is that in her mind, she knows if I push this guy too far, if I'm a jerk, if I'm bitchy, I'm rude, disrespectful, he's out of there. But guess what? When you're living together and you're sharing expenses and your name's on a lease, or if you're married, it's not as easy for a guy to walk away. But if he has his place and she has hers, and he sees her once, maybe twice a week on occasion, and she gets disrespectful or rude, what's holding back? He's gone like that. Nothing, no problem. That's why they're always better behaved and treat guys better when they have to work towards that guy. And that's where you always want to be, in that place. I didn't design human beings. I didn't design women. It is what it is. And for a lot of people that think I'm full of crap, or think I'm just an a-hole, or I'm just teaching guys to be manipulative and all that stuff, okay, don't do what I say. Go do what movies and TV are telling you how to do, and watch how that works out. And then when you get your heart broken, or you're ready to pull your hair out from all the frustration because of all the bullshit that she's pulling, then you come back here and you'll be saying, you know what, that dude in the car was right. But anyhow, guys, so no, that guy's not the a-hole. He had every right to have his gym time because he's spending time with her. He's spending time with the kid, but he also has his time. And what have I told you guys about the list of priorities? Your purpose should be your number one priority for any guy. Your purpose, your goals, your ambitions. Second thing, the gym, fitness, health. That's the second thing, most important. The third thing, your bros, your best friends. The friends that have got your back, where there's no drama, no BS. Fourth, family. And when I say family, I mean like your parents and your cousins and your uncles and your brother and sister and everything. Because generally, every family has bullshit. And so your best bros that are drama-free are going to bring the bullshit. That's why I say bros before the family. Then along with the family, and I'd probably say your dog or your cat. At the very end of the list, it's women. And believe me, they're not going to like being at the bottom of the list. And let me tell you guys, some will walk away, and you're going to lose them. But the ones that are really into you are going to stick around. And it doesn't mean you treat them like crap, because the guys that make the girl his top priority, number one, what happens to them? How are they treated, right? Because remember, we all know, you put the girl on the pedestal, treat like number one, those guys get treated like crap. Jerked around, bullshit, sadly, oftentimes cheated on, broken up with. But notice the guys that put the girl dead last of importance, those girls are chasing after them, right? It makes no sense. It's crazy. But it's how it is. So that guy, in my opinion, it's done. He's not the a-hole. His priorities, his purpose, his things are more important. And this is just the beginning of the bullshit. If he caves, if he were to cave to her and be like, okay, I won't go to the gym today, well, tomorrow will be something else. And it will get worse and worse and worse. And this is why, and it can be interpreted as shit tests. That's true here too. But when you fail these tests, when you give in, there's going to be more. And remember, if she doesn't respect you, she sure as hell ain't going to love you. And women respect strength, okay? And guys will stand up for themselves, not tolerate their crap. And women are always going to pull tests to test that strength regularly. Just the way a child is always going to test to see how much crap he can get away with his parents or his teacher. And you guys know what I'm talking about. And I was a kid once, and I tested the shit out of my parents and uncles and cousins and teachers in school. And believe me, I learned real quick what I could get away with, what I could not get away with. Same thing. So no, this guy should not give in to her. In my opinion, he should end it with her completely and rethink the whole ever getting involved with a single MOM. And definitely no, don't move in with your girl unless you've been with her for years and years and years. This is a mistake because he's going to be miserable with her. Now, for fun, I'm going to read a few comments because they're always really good. This one's from a woman. And she says, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. After 18 months, this woman has assertively figured out his schedule and what's important to him. If my boyfriend had an essentially ritual gym schedule that he followed, I would take that into mind when planning lies, especially if I know it's important to him. I think she's being manipulative by using her kid and saying he doesn't care about them because of something she never had an issue with before then. I'd vote not the a-hole. Realistically, the kid is not his responsibility, and if she had expectations that he wouldn't go to the gym, she should have expressed that a long time ago. Exactly. This is from a woman saying this, right? This is from a dude. This guy says, I must have missed that part where he said when he goes to the gym, he stays there for a week or two before going home. First of all, it's not even his kid. And second of all, it's fine for him to go work for 8+ hours, but the few days a week he goes to the gym for 2 hours is traumatizing this young child. Right, exactly. Look at her stirring up all that shit. He says, not the a-hole. This isn't about prioritizing. This is about control. If your significant other wanted you to stick around in this specific instance because there was an event like a birthday party or something like that, that would make sense. Instead, she's demanding you change your lifestyle you've kept for years because you won't do as she says and she doesn't like that. Exactly. Control, control, control. Yeah, if there was a birthday party or something going on, okay, that's reasonable. Would you mind going to the gym tomorrow or the next day or something like that? Then I get it. But, and by the way, he'd make plans for that. But this guy, his workout is important to him. It's his purpose. And every guy should do this. He says, going to the gym for a couple hours a few times a week, and y'all in here talking like he's abandoning his family for weeks at a time. This guy's referring to other people that were actually making this guy out to be the villain. Another one, this is a guy. A guy says, living at her house for logistical reasons, mainly because it's inconvenient for her to come over to his place. You make it sound like he's freeloading. He's not. And moving in with someone doesn't mean that he has to change his routine and remove his hobbies and goals to make someone else feel better. She knew his routine when she started dating him. Sounds to me that she's only feeling this way after he moved in. Not to mention that she wasn't even negotiating or having a conversation. She jumped to passive-aggressive comments ASAP. Correct. And this guy should not be negotiating. He's been dating her a year and a half. Okay? But look how demanding she is. Bait and switch. She no longer has uncertainty in the relationship. Throw shit tests in there. This is what you get. Again, guys, this was a short story, but I thought it was a gold mine of lessons to teach you young guys. It's amazing to me the stories I get from guys that email me or comment saying they just didn't know this stuff. No one taught them this stuff. Then they learned the hard way, watched my videos, and saw these things like, oh, that makes sense, and now they get it. And last one, this is from a woman. She says, not the a-hole. I'm a mom that spends 2 hours a day at the gym as well. It's important to my mental and physical health. I will not change my schedule for anyone because those are the hours that suit me best. Anyone who suggests that you go after a long day at a physically demanding job probably doesn't know how hard it is to have the energy for a decent workout after a long day. I barely have the energy to take off my pants off and shower after work. There you go. So we got women understanding and we got guys understanding. Now don't get me wrong. There are plenty of people that commented that were men and women that were against the guy, and it was ridiculous. But notice none of the comments that I read, guys, said anything like, guess what happens when you move in with your girl? Or this is what happens when she has certainty in the relationship. Nobody addressed that amongst other things too. It's interesting. But there you go, guys. So lesson learned. I don't need to review the whole list again. You get the point. But you got the lessons here. So if you're dating a relationship, guys, I want you to think twice about this before you decide to date a single MOM, before you decide to move in with your girl, before you start letting her have certainty in the relationship. Because if you do those things, you're going to be asking for trouble, guaranteed. Now, does it mean that every single gal out there is like that? No. But believe me, there are a hell of a lot in varying degrees. And you guys are trying to improve yourselves and have a darn good life without any freaking drama, and you can achieve all the goals you want and be the happiest you can be. You want to minimize all the BS in your life. Well, these stories, these lessons will help you in that screening process. I may only reach a teeny tiny fraction of the population, but I'm doing my part, and then you guys can do well for yourselves and teach your friends and family and so on and so forth. But all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me just think about this. Let me know, guys, in the comment section, is this guy the a-hole for doing what he did and having the opinions I did? I'd like to know about it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.